Assalamu alaikum dear students, and welcome to Allma Iqbal Open University TV studio. We are back today with another unit from your book English Compulsory 2 with the code 142454119408 for BA and BS. I'm your instructor and we'll be discussing today the writing that uses cause and effect. You can find a lot of material and very useful one in your own book. You can have some very good examples in the book, and they have clearly told you how is it that you write using cause and effect. Dear students, you must have heard this phrase very often, cause and effect. Actually, this is a natural phenomenon. So many things must be happening around you in your own environment that are based on cause and effect. If I throw a glass of water down, it will break into pieces. So my throwing was the cause, and it happened to this effect that the glass broke into those small pieces. Now, if I step on one of those pieces, my foot can hurt. So the cause will be that I stepped on a piece of glass, and the effect would be that my foot got hurt. So this world basically is based on this very technique of cause and effect. You can see it happening in the natural world. You can see it happening in the man's world, in the man-made world that is there. To see the very way cause and effect are connected and work, you can do small experiments maybe. And then you will see how is it that cause and effect are interconnected. Now, coming to see how is it that we can write about the cause and effect procedures. How is it that when we write about cause and effect, what techniques do we use to make it so appealing? Dear students, academic writing is not new to you. You have already talked about and discussed academic writing itself, its structure. We have talked about how to write for a sequence, how to give information in an order. We have already talked about the classification writing, and today we'll see how is it that you describe cause and effect. Sometimes you have to write about phenomena that involve cause and effect. Sometimes cause precedes the effect, and at other times, it's vice versa. Effect may precede the cause. So the writers use it both the ways. Sometimes they talk about the causes and then they go on to describe the effect. And at other times, they write about the effect and then look into the causes. So both these options and choices are open to you. As writers, you can have the cause leading to the effect, or you can talk about the effect first and then go into or analyzes the causes that have caused that certain effect. Something that will help you the most in this case is the topic sentence. Bring back to your memory the topic sentence that we have already talked about in Unit 1. To give you a small recap, we had said that the sentence that carries the weight of the whole paragraph, the sentence that summarizes the information that is there in the paragraph is the topic sentence. And if you remember, you should know that a topic sentence may not always be the first sentence of the paragraph. We had said that the topic sentence can be the first sentence, it can be the last sentence of the paragraph, and sometimes writers may not give a very explicit kind of topic sentence. They may imply it. The whole paragraph may mean something that may serve as the topic of that paragraph. But in the case of cause and effect, I would advise as an academician that you use a topic sentence that is clear and precise and explicit. In that topic sentence, you either give the cause and then move on to describe the cause and leading to the result, the effect, or in the topic sentence, you may start with the effect and then go on to describe the causes that have resulted in this effect. We can have both the kinds of examples in different texts by writers. If you start with the cause in the topic sentence, you tell that this certain thing has been a cause for this effect, and then you describe what effect it has caused. Sometimes there may be one cause but many different effects, and at other times there may be many different effects caused by just one phenomenon. So it depends on your skill as a writer, how is it that you balance cause and effect. If there are more than one causes, you can start with effect in the topic sentence and go on to describe various causes that have resulted in this effect. Similarly, if there is one cause and many effects, you can talk about the cause first and go on to describe how it affects certain people or certain places or whatever. It depends on your skill to capture the attention of the reader. Reader may be more interested in the effect if that is something they have individually experienced. For example, if we look at pollution, it has affected so many people and keeps on affecting them every single day. If you start with some effects that pollution has on human life and the world we inhabit, people will be captured. They would like to know what is it that has been causing all this harm to their lives and to the world they live in. So, this is a writer's task to capture the reader's attention from the very beginning. And then you do not have to lose that attention till the end. So, in cause and effect, if it is about human life, if it is about something that we individually experience on this planet, if it is something that is for the greater good of people, maybe you can talk about the effect in the beginning, and once you capture the attention of the readers, you can go on to describe the causes. What would happen? Your reader will be more interested to know what is it that has caused this effect. And once they know the cause, you can ask them, you can demand them to eliminate the causes. And in this way, they'll hear to the suggestions and recommendations that you put forth in the concluding paragraph. To take this point further and to tell you how is it that cause and effect writing is done and to what effect it can be done, I have brought certain examples from you. If you look at your screen, you find the example of a cause and effect paragraph. This is by Hilary Hosser. The fantastic water clarity of the Mount Gambier sinkholes results from several factors. The holes are fed with aquifers holding rainwater that fell decades, even centuries ago, and that has been filtered through miles of limestone. The high level of calcium that limestone adds causes the silty detritus from dead plants and animals to cling together and settle quickly to the bottom. Abundant bottom vegetation in the shallow sinkholes also helps bind the silt, and the rapid turnover of water prohibits stagnation. Now, if you analyze the paragraph, you see that the writer has started with an effect. The first sentence of the paragraph, that is the topic sentence, mentions an effect. And the effect is the water clarity of Mount Gambier sinkholes. The readers would like to know what is it that has resulted in this water clarity. Once you have captured their attention, you take them into the several causes that have caused it. If you notice, the writer has given one cause each in one sentence. Every single sentence carries a cause till the end. So, you started with an effect and you moved on to describe the causes. Dear students, this is how you use cause and effect in academic writing. You just had an example where the writer started with an effect and went on to give the causes that have resulted in that effect. Sometimes if something is really positive or is really affecting the reader who is reading a certain topic, they'll be interested in starting with an effect. And the moment they read about that effect, their attention is at that moment captured, and they would like to know the causes. As a good writer, you would have to have them indulged in knowing the causes of certain phenomena. But you must see the role of the topic sentence that it has played in this paragraph. The effect had been described very explicitly in the very opening line of the paragraph that served as topic sentence. We have another example on your screen right now that describes how is it that the television watching has become an indispensable part of the parenting of young children. Because television is so wonderfully available as child amuser and child diffuser, capable of rendering a volatile 3-year-old harmless at the flick of a switch, parents grow to depend upon it in the course of their daily lives. And as they continue to utilize television day after day, its importance in their children's lives increases. From a simple source of entertainment provided by parents when they need a break from childcare, television gradually changes into a powerful and disruptive presence in family life. But despite their increasing resentment of television's intrusions into their family life, and despite their considerable guilt at not being able to control their children's viewing, parents don't take steps to extricate themselves from television's domination. They can no longer cope without it. If you look at the paragraph closely, you'll see that for this paragraph, the writer has chosen a different technique. The writer starts the paragraph with the word because. That makes it very clear that the paragraph starts with the causes. And from that cause, he goes on to tell you the effect. Now, being a very household topic and something that affects most of us and is happening in most of the households, what happens is that the reader, when he reads the causes, kind of identifies with the situation. These are the causes that the readers have already seen happening in their own house or at the houses of their nears and dear ones. So, the writer captures the attention of the reader with the help of the causes. And from the causes, he moves on to describe the effect, where the parents are controlling their children solely through the TV. It results in TV finally controlling and dominating the household, the kids and the parents all together, and it results in the fact that the parents could not then cope with so much TV viewing by their own children. So, dear students, when you looked at this paragraph, you saw that the reader has been given causes first, and from those causes he moves on to describe the effect. So you have seen two techniques of writing using cause and effect. You have seen a paragraph that started with an effect in the very first sentence of the paragraph, that was the topic sentence, and then moved on to describe the causes. At the same time, you had another paragraph that started with the causes, gave different causes, and gave you the result also. Very interestingly, if you look at both the paragraphs, you can very easily take out the transitional expressions that the writer has used. As we have always said, that transitional expressions are a vital part of the paragraph or academic writing, because they lead the reader to your line of thought and they tell you what is it that you're exactly talking about. That is why we have been very careful about the use of transitional expressions in different kinds of writing. We have had different groups of and classified groups of transitional expressions to use for all different kinds of writing. We have been talking about the transitional expressions that can be used in sequence writing, the ones that can be used in Cause and effect, the ones that can be used in some other kinds of writing like classification. So what would happen is that the reader and the writer, they'll be able to connect with each other, and the reader will not be left out. They can clearly tell what is it that the writer intends to say. We have a whole list of the transitional expressions that is used for cause and effect writing. If you look at your screen, you can see the list. It starts with because, so, therefore, due to, as a result, consequently, for this reason, provided that, since, hence, fortunately, unfortunately, finally, accordingly, it began with, in any case, in fact, as a consequence of, thus, and resulting in. Dear students, these are some of those transitional expressions that can be used while writing using cause and effect. You can move on to add more, and you will get a great help from the book that you're studying. In Unit 4 of this book, you can have a whole list of transitional expressions that can be used for cause and effect writing, and you have a good number of examples that tells you how to do that. I always say, and I repeat, that transitional expressions, where they are very vital to the piece of writing, to the academic piece of writing, at the same time their use is something that you need to be very careful about. If you use them where they're not necessary, the reader will be baffled about the information that you have given them. So to keep the information clear, you have to put them where they are needed and try to use the ones that are clear enough and give the message very clearly. This will make your writing not only appealing to the reader, but make it more understandable for them. So this was all for the writing using cause and effect. I hope you could understand cause and effect writing better. I hope you knew that cause and effect writing could be done in more than one ways. Now, when you write on cause and effect, you can use all these techniques and see how the impact differs. While you use different techniques for the same writing, what it does is that it kind of gives a different impact every time. So instead of following the same pattern and the same structure every time, you can change the structure and it will change the impact. Changing the impact or choosing the structure depends on the topic that you're talking about, the topic that you're writing on. So I hope that you'll be better able to choose from these techniques which one to use when for which topic. Until next time, thank you very much.